Let's go to Curtis Ellis. Curtis, Senior Policy Advisor. Talk my back by popular demand. It's like we just have so much fun together. I'm like, could you come on at 9:35 today, Curtis, just to like tie this whole thing up? And he's with us, Senior Policy Advisor of American First Policies. And that is the number one recognized political action committee supporting President Trump's America First agenda. I think I said that in the legal right way. Curtis Ellis, Senior Advisor.
You can say it any way you want, John. Nice to be here. Congratulations on expanding. Hopefully you're not expanding at the waistline, but that's...
My expansion at the waistline is the continual story.
I hope you're expanding in your wallet. That would be good.
That would be better than expanding my waistline, though, right? I am on a diet, though.
Oh,
and yes. Since the holidays, I put on 5 pounds. Now, you say, well, that's not a lot. When you're already overweight, 5 pounds, you can't do it. So I got that 5 off, and now I'm like cutting into the bone now. Curtis Ellis, when we go out, this is like, if you've never seen Curtis, he's very thin and fit, right? Very thin and fit and very wiry. And I'm a big man, right? I would be
You're a big man.
I would be classified as John's a big man, especially when I have my camel coat on when I kill the entire camel.
But as everybody could see on Drudge Report
a couple
weeks ago, there you were.
Even my
wife,
wife calls
Ivanka.
That's right.
And Martha.
And Martha was there too in the picture and the cover of Drudge.
Yeah, and you took up most of the picture because you're a big man.
I'm a big man, so that's why I dominated.
You have a big heart. Now, I hope your heart's expanding in a good way. I mean, the figurative heart.
Figurative heart, yes.
The figurative heart, not the muscle in your chest.
I was.
I hope your wallet's expanding. I hope your compassion is expanding. Your intelligence. I hope you're expanding in many ways.
Except the waistline. But
right.
Anyway, Curtis and I go out to dinner a lot, and it's a sight to be seen because, like, I order the big man's meal, right? Because I'm a big man. So I order, like, I eat supper, right? I have dinner. Curtis, he orders, like, an appetizer and a salad.
That's not true. That is not true. But actually, I like to eat, too. I have this friend. She's very small, tiniest thing you've ever seen, and she eats like a horse. It's unbelievable. She'll go out. I mean, a guy does not want to take her out on a date. She'll order 3 entrees. She'll order 2 entrees, 3 desserts, and 4 appetizers. And she's this tiny, thin little thing. Anyway,
that's what happens, right? Okay, enough of that. So
enough of this nonsense.
All right, let's get to Steve Bannon. As predicted,
again.
As predicted,
let's finish him off. There's the story. Do you see, by the way? Go ahead. What did you want to say about it?
As predicted, I did last week. Breitbart fired him.
Yeah, as we predicted yesterday.
Breitbart fired him. So now what? He doesn't have a job.
Yeah, well, he's going to have to find another sugar daddy or something. I can't imagine no media outlet's going to want to hire him. He told all the liberal media to shut up. Remember that was, so they're not going to hire him, and the conservative media, nobody there is going to touch him because, I mean, why would they? The guy's he's got like verbal diarrhea. So you stick a fork in him, he's done. The Morning Consult shows that his popularity. There's a new poll done by Politico of all people, and Morning Consult. He's viewed unfavorably. His unfavorable ratings have skyrocketed. Breitbart dropped him. We were saying yesterday, nobody looks at Breitbart anymore.
I know it's really an issue because, like, I deleted my app, and I know many of the people I've talked to have. It's not credible now, but he is fired, so I think that could turn around. Now, what about his radio show?
Yeah, really. Well, that was from Breitbart. He doesn't have a radio show. Breitbart has a radio show, and he hosted it.
Yeah.
So
they need a new host.
Bannon Radio, gone. It's gone silent. Maybe he'll get a job at Radio Moscow. I don't know. Who knows? It's just, how do you come out and say the president's son is treasonous, and then the president himself is treasonous? I mean, that's just disgusting. Just disgusting. So, and the last word I want to say on this is that this is what the media wants to talk about because they don't want to talk about the president's accomplishments. And the whole idea, this was the myth that was built up around this whole thing. Oh, well, Bannon understands the base and the issues that got Trump elected president. That's just hogwash. The president understands what got him elected. Remember, John, the American Jobs Alliance in 2011, that fine organization of which you are now the executive director.
Yes.
It was founded in 2011. The website went up in 2011, and you go back on the website right now, you can look. The very first news article that was posted in 2011, a news story, it was the story of Donald Trump saying, and I can't remember which news outlet it was. It was, it was a big, credible news outlet like USA Today or something. Donald Trump saying, we've got to get tough on China. China is stealing our jobs and our industries, and we've got to shut them down. So this was not like some thing created by Mr. Bannon, right? I mean,
No,
Donald Trump knows exactly where he's coming from, knows exactly what the issues are. He was there first. So for anybody to say, for anyone else to claim that they told Donald Trump what to say on this issue or that issue is just ridiculous.
It's fake news.
Fake news. Fake news.
It
There
is
you
really
go.
the epitome of fake news because, look, you and I can talk with authority because we were there at the beginning, right?
That's
we
right.
We were there.
We were there before he even
Before he
announced
announced.
we were there.
We were there.
You should pull that ad out of you should pull the piece that you ran on your show beginning in May of 2015 of Donald Trump saying Obama trade is a bad deal for American workers and American businesses. Call your congressman and tell them to vote against the Trans-Pacific Partnership.
We got him, and you went there to his office, and you got the president to cut that ad in his office in Trump Tower in March of 3 months before he announced.
Yeah.
Right? So we were there, had him cutting this ad, and we were out funding it, and he ran it on my show for, 8 weeks straight, 3 times a day, and things of that.
And we ran it on Rush Limbaugh's show.
New
and
Hampshire,
we ran it
you ran it in South Carolina.
In New Hampshire and in South Carolina.
Right. This had nothing to do with Steve Bannon. Now, remember,
Nothing.
here's the facts. Bannon was for Cruz. Bannon came to the campaign. Rebecca Mercer brought him in, and it was after Cleveland when he was a nominee. That's when Bannon came in, when they fired Manafort. That's when, which is the best thing they did. But that's when Bannon came in. Bannon didn't even start out as a Trump supporter. He was for Cruz. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to find that ad, and we're going to run that ad right now. So stay with us.
An important message from Donald Trump and Americans for Limited Government.
While I'm a Republican, right now some in the Republican Party are working overtime to hand more power to President Obama. These same people are turning their backs on the American workers and businesses. It's unbelievable. I learned a long time ago, a bad deal is far worse than no deal at all. And the Obama Trans-Pacific Partnership, it's a bad deal. For American businesses, for workers, for taxpayers, it's a huge set of handouts for a few insiders that don't even care about our great America. Congress has to stand up and defeat this raw power grab. With the dismal Obama track record, why should a Republican Congress give him more power and gut the Constitution to do it? It's just crazy. Tell your congressman and senator, vote no on the Obama bad deal.
Take action at ObamaTrade.com. ObamaTrade.com.
All right, Curtis, there you go. You went in his office and got him to cut that ad in March of 2015. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
I'll
we
never
played it
forget
on
that.
we played it on national radio. And so Bannon had, Bannon wasn't there. He had nothing to do with any of this.
No. That's the myth. That's fake news. And it's lovely listening to that again. I mean, it's got all the elements in there. Bad trade deals, rigged system for the insiders. The Republican Congress won't stand up for principles. I mean, all of the things that got him elected are there in that ad. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. And I remember rewriting the script with him. He rewrote the script while I was sitting there at the desk In 30 seconds, he rewrote the script.
In his office.
Not completely, but he said, let's say it this way. I think it'd be better to say it that way.
Right.
No, what is it? A bad deal is worse than no deal at all.
Right.
I remember that very clearly. And the guy's a genius.
Well, look, people forget about how this campaign started. That's why you got to go back in the archives and remind people that, Steve Bannon had nothing to do with it. He was not there. He was for Ted Cruz until Cruz dropped out when we kicked his ass in Cleveland. So, I mean, come on. This is a recreation of history. Now, let's get to the meeting yesterday.
To the important stuff.
Yes, the meeting yesterday, the president saying that he's going to sign whatever they put on his desk. What did you make of that?
Well, he is in negotiation here. He's in negotiating mode. And he was very clear that he's got to have the wall. We've got to have the border security. We've got to end chain migration. We've got to end the diversity lottery, the visa lottery. And every time they tried to sneak it past, well, how about we do the DACA bill now or the Dreamer bill and we come back to security? He's like, no, we got to have this all at once. And he's really maneuvered the Democrats into a position where do they want to put the interests of the illegals before the interests of Americans? He set up the debate such that they are really on the losing end. They got the short end of the stick here. They've got the losing hand, and he's holding all the high cards. Now, he says, at the same time, he holds out this fig leaf and says, we want to take care of the DACA recipients. And that's what he said back in last year when he ended the executive order law by fiat of Emperor Obama and said, Congress has got to pass a law to fix this. We got to make this legal, and it's got to be done by statute, not by executive order. And so it's up to Congress to fix it. And now he's told Congress what he will sign. He will sign a bill that has these elements in it of the wall, the chain migration nonsense, ending it, and the diversity lottery. Now, Bob Goodlatte has introduced some great legislation today that really lays out all of the principles that we need for fixing our broken immigration system and getting an immigration system that works for Americans, not for the 7 billion people on planet Earth who might want to come to the United States. The Democrats want to prioritize the wishes and interests of anybody on planet Earth who feels like coming to the United States and living here. They seem to believe that everybody has a right to come here, and we've got to make it easy for them to come here, which, by the way, is the United Nations position. And we must have free and orderly, regular migration of people everywhere, anytime.
Basically, no nations, open borders everywhere, no nations, which means everybody comes to the United States so they can get Obama phones, food stamps, and housing, and bus fare, and the other things that we provide them with. And, of course, you got the Unholy Alliance. The Democrats want to open borders because, well, it's a way for them to mine cheap votes. It's right in their manifesto. They said, keep the illegals coming in because they're eventually going to vote Democratic and transform the country as we know it. So we'll have majorities in perpetuity. And then you have the Republican mega donors funding GOP leaders and other people who want one thing: cheap labor for their benefactors.
Drive down wages.
The
Bureau of Labor Statistics has a report out. 17% of the population, the people residing in the United States now, are foreign-born. They weren't born here. That's like a record high.
Right.
17%. Of those foreign-born people working in the labor force, they're all concentrated at the low end of the labor force.
Right.
Most of they're in construction, hospitality, restaurants, cheap labor. They're like 10 times more likely to have never graduated high school. So it's low skill, cheap labor. They earn less than American born people here. They're driving down wages. It's real simple. And as President Trump's policies start to take effect, and they're starting to, of cutting back on immigration, cutting back on the illegal and legal immigrants who are here, like the temporary protected status for Salvadorans, temporary, 16 years they've been here under temporary status, right? He's saying it's time to go home now. You got 18 months to pack your bags and find a place to live in San Salvador. There's labor, the wages are going up for those jobs. There's quote-unquote labor shortages. Well, what that means is businesses have to offer more in the way of pay to get somebody to take the job. That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Well, it is a good thing, and I got to end on this. We're out of time, but I had Republican Tom Garrett on, Congressman of Virginia, a little bit earlier, and he said one of the other reasons the Democrats want to keep the flow of immigrants in, not only for cheap votes, but they want wages to stay low because that's when they attract people for entitlements. If you make too much money, you don't need them. Interesting concept. I'm out of time. I got to go. John Fredericks Radio Network.